I'm shaking as I've never posted here before, but I've read enough No Sleep to know this is the only place people might believe me. I'm not crazy, I swear. I've been keeping a journal to make sure I'm not imagining things, but it's getting harder to trust my own head. Something's wrong with the creek behind my house, and I think it's after me. I don't know how much time I have to explain, so I'll just lay it all out. 6 months ago, I moved to a small town in upstate New York. I'm 29, single, and work remotely as a graphic designer, so I wanted somewhere quiet. The house I rented is old, creaky, but cheap. A 2-bedroom with a big backyard and a shallow creek running through it. The creek was my favorite part at first. It's maybe 2 feet deep, crystal clear, with smooth stones that glint in the sun. I'd sit out there with my coffee, sketching or just listening to the water. It felt like I'd found paradise. Then, about a month ago, things got weird. The creek would go silent, not like the water stopped flowing, but like the sound was sucked out of the air. It'd last a few seconds, then snap back. I thought it was my imagination or some acoustic quirk. But then I found the first bone. It was a Sunday, and I was poking around the creek for rocks to sketch. I saw something white in the mud near the bank. I thought it was quartz, but when I dug it out, it was a bone. Small, maybe from a bird, polished clean, no dirt, no blood, just smooth and white like it had been scrubbed. I figured an animal dropped it, but it felt wrong. I put it on my porch table and forgot about it until that night. I woke up at 3:14 a.m., heart pounding, no reason why. My bedroom window faces the creek, and I saw something move out there. Not a deer or a raccoon, something tall, thin, slipping into the trees. Just a shadow, gone in a blink. I told myself it was a dream, checked the locks, closed the blinds, and tried to sleep. The next morning, the bone was gone. I searched the porch, the grass, the creek. Nothing. My boots were still muddy from digging it out, so I know I didn't imagine it. After that, more bones started showing up. Every few days, I'd find one in the creek. Always small, always clean, tucked into the mud or under a rock. I stopped taking them out after the third one vanished from my porch. I'd just mark their spots in my journal and leave them. But the creek was changing. The water got cloudy, not with dirt, but with inky, swirling streaks that disappeared when I stared too long. The silent moments stretched longer, sometimes a full minute. I stopped sitting by the creek. It felt like it was watching me. 2 weeks ago, I saw it. I was working late, my desk lamp the only light, when I heard a heavy splash from the creek. Not a fish or a rock, but deliberate, like something big stepped in. I grabbed my flashlight and pointed it out the window. I regret it every second since. There was something standing in the creek, maybe 7 feet tall, thin as a skeleton, that hung past its knees. Its skin was gray, slick, like wet clay. And its head? It didn't have a face, just a smooth, blank oval. But I knew it was staring at me. I dropped the flashlight, ducked under the window, and stayed there, heart hammering until dawn. When I looked again, it was gone. The creek was silent, and the air felt heavy, like a storm was coming. Since then, it's gotten worse. I hear scratches at night, faint, steady, like nails on wood, always from the creek's direction. I stopped opening my blinds, but I feel it out there. Last week, I woke up to my bedroom window open. I know I closed it. I check it obsessively now. 3 nights ago, I found another bone, not in the creek, but on my doorstep. It was bigger, maybe from a dog, with a jagged mark carved into it. Not a symbol, just a deep, angry line. I left it there, too scared to touch it. I tried researching the creek at the local library. Old Town records call it Sorrow's Run, named after a family who drowned there in the 1800s during a flood. There wasn't much else, just a handwritten note in the margin. Do not disturb what sleeps in the water. It gave me chills. I asked the librarian, an old guy named Carl, if he knew anything. He got quiet, said the creek's always been strange, and told me to stop poking around. His hands were shaking when he said it. Last night, it was in my room. I woke up at 3:14 a.m. again, paralyzed, like the air was crushing me. At the foot of my bed was a shadow, tall, thin, faceless. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. I blinked and it was gone, but this morning there was a bone on my nightstand. It's bigger than the others, maybe a deer's, with that same jagged mark. I'm staring at it now, too scared to touch it. I don't know what to do. I can't blink. Don't think it's going to stop. I'm at a motel 20 miles from my house, but I don't feel safe. I don't think I'll ever feel safe again. Thanks to everyone who commented on my last post. Your advice gave me the push to try to get out, but it didn't work. I'm sorry this is messy. I'm typing on my phone and my hands won't stop shaking. After my last post, I packed a bag and decided to leave. Some of you suggested burning the bones or cleansing the house, but I couldn't bring myself to touch them. The one on my nightstand was still there, and it felt like it was watching me. I know that sounds insane. I grabbed my keys, locked the house, and drove to this motel. The whole way, I kept checking my rearview mirror, expecting to see that thing standing in the road. I didn't, but the silence in my car felt wrong, like the creek's quiet had followed me. I checked in around 2 a.m. and tried to sleep, but I kept hearing scratches. Not loud, but persistent, like something dragging its nails along the motel wall. I told myself it was pipes or mice, but at 3:14 a.m., I woke up to the sound of water. Not a drip, a steady gurgling flow like a stream running through the room. I turned on the light and the floor was dry, but the sound didn't stop. It was coming from the bathroom. I don't know why I looked. I should have just left. The sink was off, but the mirror, God, the mirror. There was something behind my reflection, not clear but distorted, like heat waves over asphalt, a tall, thin shape with no face. I backed out, slammed the door, and wedged a chair under the handle. The gurgling stopped, but the scratches started again, louder, right outside my room. I called the front desk, but the line was dead. I checked my phone, full signal, but every call dropped. I'm typing this because it's the only thing keeping me sane. This morning, I found another bone outside my motel door. It's the biggest yet, maybe a femur, human-sized, with that jagged mark. I didn't touch it. I got in my car and drove to a diner, where I'm sitting now, trying to figure out what's next. The waitress keeps looking at me funny, and I swear I saw her eyes flick to something behind me. But when I turned, nothing was there. My journal's filling up with notes, but I'm scared to reread them. The last entry I wrote was about a dream I had 2 nights ago, standing in the creek, water up to my knees and hands grabbing my ankles from below. I don't remember writing it. Some of you mentioned water spirits or old curses in the comments. I looked up Sorrow's Run again on my phone. There's not much online, but I found a forum post from 2012 about a hiker who went missing near the creek. They found his backpack, but no body. Locals said he went to the water. I don't know what that means, but it's got me thinking about that note. Do not disturb what sleeps in the water. Did I disturb it by taking that first bone? Is that why it's after me? I'm going to try to find Carl, the librarian, today. He knows something, I'm sure of. I'll update when I can. But if you don't hear from me, please, don't go near that creek. I don't know what it wants, but it's not letting me go.